page.
Alright ninjas, are you ready for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge once again to become a super mangaka? So today the request quest is facial expressions suggested by Rox. So yeah ninjas, get your faces ready and let's pick up the pen and let's start drawing the faces. Yes! Let's draw some facial expressions. If you have any questions or suggestions for new human body parts, can be the ones that we already did that you want to see it again, or other ones, just let me know. Has to be safe for work, so no cocks and dicks and
Just do it!
pussies and shit, because yeah, I cannot stream that live. Yeah, facial expressions. Also keep in mind this is like a drawing practice, so it doesn't have to be perfect for a polished final product, but well, do your best. That's a thing, but it doesn't have to be like perfect. Hey man, when I heard this suggestion, I felt like maybe just do it from imagination, but not today. Well, I do manga-fy it though. But yeah, right now we're drawing for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge to improve our manga skills, to make better manga, and in this case, yeah, drawing the human body parts to improve your human anatomy skills, or in this case facial expressions, which is definitely a must for making manga, facial expressions, at least if you work with human characters. Unless you make a manga only with robots or animals, then, well, you still have facial expressions in a way with animals, unless you don't, unless you make realistic animals, maybe without facial expressions. But like Tom and Jerry or something, Lion King, you know, those animals are like cartoonified or animatified or animation-fied to make it appealing for humans, with faces, so they, you know, like normal lions cannot speak with words, I assume. Maybe I've seen some that can actually speak, but well, if you've seen it, tell me about it. But yeah, normally animals don't speak with words, so, well, unless it's a parrot, of course. Or, well, you see sometimes memes coming by with a dog or cat, or they speak. I'm not sure if they know what they're saying, but you know what I mean, right? Like with that movie with Planet of the Apes. That was a great scene though. Like an ape speaking for the first time in what was it? The new Planet of the Apes, like. With the Green Goblin, that's the actor, the main character of the human main character. I mean, like he plays, what is it? The Green Goblin in James Franco. What's his face? Well, anyways, what's the point again? Oh yeah, he was playing the main character in the Planet of the Apes, and there, you know, Caesar was speaking for the first time, and it was like a mind-blowing moment in a way, or you know, for that, yeah, like rising, you know, being able to speak. It was a great scene for the movie. At least that's what I thought, or about that movie, Planet of the Apes. The new one. You also had like an older one, which was alright. It was a bit more depressing in a way. Like in this case, it felt a bit like, well, Caesar was also the main character, of course, and he rises to the top, right? Like you have this ape, and he's smart, you know. He at the, what is it? This injection or whatever, that he becomes smarter. Or no, it was from his mother that they experimented on there, and to make apes smarter and stuff. And in this case, the apes took over the planet because it's called Planet of the Apes. It's literally in the title. Like a lot of the stories exist, right? Where something takes over humanity. In this case, it was apes. But I think the one of the first Planet of the Apes, or not the old school ones, but the newer first ones, I think I enjoyed it. I used to watch it again from time to time, you know. What was the point again? Totally lost track of the point. But yeah, maybe soon robots will take over the planet, right? Yeah. And maybe even our jobs as artists. Well, I think in a way, AI art is good, because then real art by humans then get more valuable, especially on paper, I think. Like, but yeah, that's a whole deep dive. So what have you been watching lately, ninjas? We with dinner watched a new episode of Dragon Ball Daima, episode number 13, I think. Oh wait, I actually didn't finish it because I had to go to the little room to bring a little brown baby to the thing. But yeah, we've been watching the anime we've been watching was Dragon Ball Daima with dinner. We finished watching Dan Da Dan, Da 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 Dan Da Dan 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 Dan, Bo 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 Bo. No, the other one. And it's a bit crazy. I think it's well made. Definitely the anime quality is really good. Doesn't always mean that the story is then also good. It's a bit crazy stuff going on. With Dan Da Dan, Dan Da 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 Dan. I think also One Piece will return soon. The anime, and also we get a new version of One Piece, the from Wit Studio, the same studio as Attack on Titan and such. They are making a remake of the One Piece anime. I'm not sure when it will come out, but I am curious how it will be, because they have a good reputation in the anime world. If you look at Attack on Titan, it's just really well produced and directed, and yeah, the quality is just amazing. So, but I'm not sure if how it will be with One Piece. I have my faith in them that they will do a fantastic job, but I guess wait and see, until it's a reality. I really wonder what they're gonna do with the voice actors, because with One Piece, well, they have voice actors for decades now, and they also became older. Unfortunately, Frankie stepped out of the crew because of his old age and sickness, which makes sense, you know, because the voice actors are also getting older, and yeah, they cannot keep doing it forever. So I hope for the voice actor, especially of Luffy, that she can keep it up until the end. But yeah, I guess that can be a issue with long-running series, that, you know, people get older and yeah, voice actors change. Yeah, I guess it would be a bit weird in a way that if Luffy's voice actor suddenly will be a different voice actor. But yeah, I guess there's no way around it if it has to happen, but yeah. I think it was also with Dragon Ball Z. Well, Dragon Ball Z I watched in English, and Vegeta also changed his voice, I believe. If you look at the arcs, you know, with the Saiyan Saga and also like Namek and such. Yeah, with Dragon Ball I prefer the English dub. Well, with Daima it's Japanese, of course. Well, okay, with Dragon Ball Z I prefer the dub of English that I watched growing up as a little ninja. That's my personal preference. With that dub, you know, because they also redubbed it, I believe, but yeah, no, not for me, man. It's probably well done, but yeah, I prefer the nostalgia, I guess, or but also yeah, I think it's still good though. But hey, to each their own, eh? Yeah, with normal anime, or at least, well, what you call normal, just anime in general, I guess. I prefer to watch it in the original language, Japanese. But let's say the anime was made in China or Korea or whatever, and their original dub is in their language. I prefer that language then. But yeah, there are exceptions, of course. Like, let's say Pokemon, I prefer the Dutch dub. Like we grew up with that, so it's like maybe it's where you grew up with, and that's the preference. But with the newer stuff, like, then again, you have the other Pokemon short anime. It's like 4 episodes or something with red and green. Like with that one, I think I do prefer the Japanese dub. Because it's not Ash, you know. It's well, red and green. Yeah, and his original name is Satoshi, and yeah. Right? Satoshi, right? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, man. What do you prefer? Anime dub or sub? Or maybe some exceptions? Like with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I do prefer the English, because that's the original. There was also the Dutch version that we actually did have on TV, which I guess I don't mind as well. When Avatar: The Last Airbender was on TV, also with the Dutch dub. Like, the thing is, let's say One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and all that was. Like, let's say we got first introduced with that on television with the Dutch dub. I might prefer the Dutch dub if I got introduced with that dub for the first time, you know. Like, some countries do have it. I think in a way that's really great. But yeah, we didn't have that, so. But I think yeah, maybe it's just with what you got introduced for the first time, and then that's, at least for me, yeah, maybe what I prefer. Like, you have like X-Men. Even so, I used to watch back in the days, like, also the classic X-Men and Spider-Man animated shows, but it was in English, which makes sense, right? Because a lot of things were, well, translated to English, because I guess more at the beginning we didn't have Dutch voice actors, or not with everything. Some things were just subtitled, which makes you also learn English, which was a good thing for us, I think, back in the days, that you have to read and learn English as well, or maybe more American English, with certain cartoons, shows, animated shows. What was the point again? Yeah, so the point was, well, we watched, or at least I did, some of you maybe also as well, watched the old classic X-Men, Spider-Man shows, the animated, the older ones, and those were English, but there's also like a Wolverine anime and some other X-Men anime that is more, well, anime made in Japan, I think, or maybe produced, but they have like the Japanese dub. But I find it a bit weird to, I don't know, see the X-Men characters speaking in Japanese. Because, like, yeah, I'm used to the English, so in that case I think I do prefer the English dub, because, well, those are their original voices. There was also this, actually from the old classic X-Men and, well, X-Men animated show, they also made a Japanese intro, which is totally different than the English one, and I think it looks really cool. It's definitely more anime like, or more like the Japan animation. I think it's cool to see, but I do still prefer the English one, even though the Japanese version is also cool. And also awesomely animated. Just search up on YouTube like X-Men 90s, I think, or yeah, Japanese intro or something. If you search up like that, then you see the, and you compare it to the other one, you see the intros, well, different, of the same show. But yeah, I think, yeah, with certain shows I prefer the English, and you know, some even Dutch, like Chin Chan is an anime, or, well, anime is still animation. But like Chin Chan, Crayon Chin Chan, I prefer the Dutch dub. It's just, I find it weird to see it in Japanese or English. Yeah, we grew up over here with it in the Dutch language, with the certain Dutch voice actors, and in that case I prefer the Dutch dub. It's also really funny. Yeah, it's also like a language thing barrier. Like, let's say your mother tongue is, well, in my case it's like Dutch, and therefore when you grow up you learn those words first, right? And with those words you have a certain, or at least, well, I have certain imaginations when you say a word. So if you say huis, or apple, or you think maybe differently than with the English word, because unless you can connect your English word to that as well, or your other language, and your imagination, like some people don't have it, I guess. They cannot imagine stuff, or less. There was something about it that some people, like you have different types of imagination, I think. Well, let's say you read a book in your own language versus English, maybe the one in your own language you can understand a bit better. Like if you grew up in multiple languages, I think that's really good. For they say like children learn it easier, right? Other languages. So let's say you're your mother speaks another language than your father to you, and then you learn 2 languages. Or maybe even 3. Because I cannot speak all of my mind in English, for example, and not at all in Japanese. So if you're limited with certain words, you cannot fully tell everything, and in some languages, some words don't even exist. So how then do you communicate that word? Well, maybe with visuals. Drawing is definitely a good, necessary way to communicate visuals. Like some languages, not sure if all languages, but they also came from drawings, right? Like if you see the hieroglyphics from Egypt or the Chinese, Japanese symbols, how it was based on well, drawings, and then got more simplified as a language. Facial expressions, you know. I'm drawing a whole head. But yeah, how many languages do you know? For me it's well, Dutch and English, a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of Indonesian, but yeah. Some friends or people I know, they grew up with 2 languages, like Spanish or and Dutch, and then also English, so then you know 3 languages. I think that's really awesome that you can then speak 3 languages, and it happens natural, right? Like maybe one of your parents cannot even speak or cannot speak as well the current language, and then you have to learn that language, but then it's also good that you know more languages then. Well, why? But let's say you're on vacation in Spain or whatever, and then you can also speak Spanish, or yeah, it's a great skill, right, to have. Number 2. I'm really way too slow. But yeah, what's your favorite anime, or like that has the best, or your favorite facial expressions? I think definitely One Piece has some great facial expressions. Also Dragon Ball, but also it has that sort of cartoony Tom and Jerry effect in there, with the eyes popping out. And not only that, of course, also with many other anime. But if you exaggerate it more, it's clearer to read the expression, I think. Yeah, like you have some more realistic kind of anime maybe, or styles, and it's less expressive, more realistic in a way, and then therefore maybe less readable. Like it's still also communication way device, like drawing. So the more clearer you can express the emotion of the character faster or clearer, then maybe it's easier to get it across. Yeah. So right now we're drawing for the 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge, facial expressions suggested by Rox. And I'm now using also references from Google of human faces and then draw it in my way. So yeah, if you're also drawing, it's a good way to practice, to have, well, references, drawing with references. Of course you also have to train your imagination, but also the reference is also a good way to practice, you know, to have realistic or real humans, and then transforming it into your way of drawing. And maybe on the way find new ways of drawing or new skills. Sometimes that's just a little thing you discover, like, oh, you can cross hatch, or just sometimes it can be small things to adjust to your skill tree and your skill points of drawing by, you know, practicing or looking at other artists. Like if you have if you want a certain style or way of drawing, and you know, or if you're stuck, like sometimes I'm stuck with let's say a rock or a wall or something, and then what's the best way to cross hatch or use my ink pencil or digital ink pencil, whatever it may be, digital, traditional. Yeah, like how does a professional that's published and successful cross hatch rocks, and like how do those lines go, the lightning and all that. And you can also you look at Asher. He was a great artist, or other classic artists, you know, learn from them how they use those inking techniques, because when making manga it's a lot of times inking black and white, and I really enjoy like black and white drawings where sometimes they can, just by the way of cross hatching, without screen tones, get still a sort of gray, a sort of screen tone-ish effect, or at least it is not just black and white, but by the way of cross-hatching, it becomes more gray, so you can communicate the drawing with just black and white lines, but by cross-hatching and drawing lines in a certain way, it looks like gray, but it is not, and the drawing is still clear.
Nice.
So how the hell do you draw this tongue, man? Like if you have,
Just do
yeah,
it.
now in a tongue situation here, where a piece of the tongue is like between the teeth. Yeah, teeth is also a whole thing. But yeah, if you increase your inking skills, and then you can also adapt that to your, well, manga skills. Yeah, there are so many skills when it comes to drawing. Even more so, I think, with animating. Then you also have to make it move. Think even more so in 3D. If you do 2D animation. Like, well, this head is a bit... But yeah, you have to... If you make like anime, well, you have to draw the character from, you know, all angles, eh? Which is... and also fast. But more simplified for, you know, animation. That's why in anime you have the like cell shading instead of like a detailed illustration. But if it then also has to move, you have to, you know. Yeah. Tongue. Tongue. So I was going over the ninjas. Any goals for this year? As for me, selling all the party time copies. Work on new manga. And well, of course, go to the gym. As always, since last year, going more to the gym. Last week I was a bit slacking, only going once to the gym because I did swim twice though the week, but yeah, I wanted to go to the gym, but I had like Spitterbob, so Not so any to go to the gym and you know, pushing hard with your muscles, and then all the diarrhea comes out. So yeah, I stayed home just you know, to not you know, shit the whole gym under. But yeah, yesterday did went to the gym, which is it always feels good to go to the gym, even if it's just like 1 hour or an hour and 15 minutes, or how long was it? Probably a bit longer. Yeah, like for me, if you train your muscles, time goes really fast. Like you just do a few sets and it's already 30 minutes. So it's, and then actually wanting to do more. And sometimes do more, but sometimes, yeah, also working on things off the screen. And you know, yeah, cannot do it all at in one day, but better than not a day, right? At least, yeah, if you do 30 minutes of muscle and then 30 minutes of cardio, or something in that direction, you know, still good exercise of the day. Because I mainly work behind the desk, and then you know, it's a lot of sitting the whole day, and that's not good, eh? So also can take a walk, of course, but you know, muscle building is also good for also later on if you get older. It's better to have more muscle, or so I've heard. And yeah, you know, for your health, especially if you work sitting. Like if you already have an active job with a lot of moving around, you probably maybe have to go less to the gym, or even go to the gym to build muscles to even move, you know, because let's say you have to move houses a lot, carrying a lot of heavy stuff, then if you have more muscle, you know, it's easier to carry that, I guess. Well, yeah. Of course, you can also like have a standing desk, which I still want at some point, but yeah, right here cannot. I don't have the space here. But yeah, if you like having your desk switching to standing and sitting, I think that's also good to be able to switch, and you know, not sitting the whole time. Especially as artists, yeah. I guess mostly you will do it sitting, unless maybe graffiti artist, or you go outside and paint, graffiti some walls. Like I personally, well, you have goals in the gym, right? I'm not sure what your goals are, but my goals are to lose fat and gain muscle and become lighter, you know. Having the muscles more visible, less fat, that's basically the goal. So in order to do that, I do muscle and cardio. But let's say you're skinny, or you don't gain a lot of weight fast, or you underweight, you want to weigh more, it's, yeah, then you have to eat more, right? But for me, it's like the calorie deficit, how to keep track of well, calories, to burn more, eat less, or you know, and therefore you lose weight, fat. Well, you have to be specific, right? Like I want to lose fat because some people weigh a lot, but they're not fat. Like it's pure muscle. So then maybe, like back on school, middle school, was a guy like, or maybe higher school, I forgot. But I was at school, and this guy said, yeah, I weigh 90 kilos, but he doesn't look, he looks like skinny, or just, not skinny, but like, he wasn't fat or whatever, but he just has a lot of muscle from, I think kickboxing, or boxing, and yeah, so weight doesn't mean necessarily fat, but fat means fat, right? Yeah, so less fat, more muscle, better for your health and weight. But yeah, that's my goal at least. Less fat, more muscle, lose weight. And lost 10, 13 last year. But I gained a bit back, so still lost 10. Yeah, I just love food and things to eat. Like eat is just, I just enjoy food, you know. Not sure about you. So it's for me easy to gain, yeah, but you know, that's why I try to keep it going, or actually keep it going. Like yesterday went to the gym, Monday we went swimming, so swimming is also good. And yeah, if you have health issues and stuff, yeah, then it's sometimes troublesome to get the right exercise, but you can control your food if you have the willpower. And yeah, food is just tasty, man. Some people hate to eat, so then it's maybe easier to lose the fat. Yeah, but I do not hate to eat. Sad face. No, yeah, this is a sad face. No shit, Sherlock. But yeah, the fit goal, or the health goal is, you know, eat less, do more, or move more. You can also just lose fat with less eating. But if you don't build the muscle, you might become skinny fat. So then you're, yeah, what's it? You're skinny, but still fat. Not sure actually how to explain. I'm not like fitness guru or whatever. Yeah, it also sometimes depends per person, right? How fast you, what's it, metabolism and all that. And they say, okay, also the protein. Eat more protein. For the muscles, right? So your muscles need to build, and then you need more protein to build muscle, and then less fat. Like I try to eat above 100 grams of protein per day, or at least, yeah. People did say my shape changed a bit, so I guess it worked out. But it's also, like if I go to the gym and do sets, like mostly I do a set of 4 times. So let's say you train your chest, and then you do, try, at least for me, what I heard or people said, like some gym bros or online or whatever, they say to your max push should be around 8 to 12 times ish for your, that you really that's your max. So you have to go sort of all out those reps, and then therefore your muscle is then you build the muscle to keep between that. And if, like, let's say 15 is easy or 20 is easy for you, then higher the weight, so that 12 is hard, or 8 to 12. Maybe it also depends on your goals. I'm not sure exactly. Like let's say you do 100 of 2 kilos. It's really easy. 100 is of course heavy, but there was something about it. I forgot what the science says, but yeah. At least for now, I forgot the reason, but to do to keep between the 8 and 12. Sometimes I forget, like I do 15 or maybe 16, and then I have to remind myself, oh yeah, wait, this is too easy, and then make it a bit heavier so that your max is higher or heavier, you know, for the amount of reps. I also every time do pull-ups. So my goal was still to reach 10 pull-ups. Like I reached 10 pull-ups last year because I did a different way of doing the pull-ups, and it suddenly became easier. But when showing it to some gym bros, one of the gym bros said like, yeah, that's no good. You have to go slower and not move too much. And because of doing that, it became heavier again. But like more controlled pull-ups, you know. So yeah, I guess I can do 10 pull-ups, but in not the correct way, like moving too much. But yeah, I'm still training my pull-ups because I want to easily be able to do 10 pull-ups. To just, I used to be able to do that. I did it, but in the wrong way. So technically, I guess I can do 10 pull-ups, but like in one go, I mean. Like in one go, being able to easily pull your own weight is just a goal of mine, to be able to do that, you know. And then also, it's like the calisthenics, or what's it called? Like the, like for me, the goal is not to become bigger, or at least, like not like Arnold or one what's the gym bros, Sam Sulek or whatever. Like they become super big, you know, like a tank. But that's not my goal. My goal is to go more slim, I guess. Like muscular, but not like more like calisthenic muscular than like, yeah, I'm not sure, more athletic muscular or something, that direction, versus like the big ass bodybuilders. I don't, that's not my goal. But hey, maybe it's your goal. So if you want to become bigger, well then you should eat more, I guess, to gain weight and muscle weight. But for me, yeah. It really depends on your goals. And yeah, as I have made my goal more clear, you know, try to achieve those, and yeah, sometimes I just don't want to go to the gym, you know, but going is like, if you just go an hour, it's not like hard necessarily in a way. You just go there, do some muscle exercises and some cardio, and that's about it. Like, it's not hard. I think like going to Kung Fu is harder because it's more conditional as well. Or like for example, you can run on the treadmill, like running. But for me, that's heavier. You sweat more. It's in terms of keeping that up. It's more draining, so to speak. So like running on the treadmill. So therefore, I do the cross trainer. And also went running at least for me, my heart rate goes too high. And if your heart rate goes too high, you go in training your condition, your not the fat. So I have the watch, and if I go running on the treadmill, for example, it goes either in the orange or red, and that's too fast, because then you train your condition and not losing fat loss. So with fat loss, you have to go slower, more in the green, blue area on the watch at least. To keep, I track it on a watch, and those have colors, and the green is a bit lower heart rate, but still go in a certain area, and therefore you lose fat, or at least that's the theory. And therefore I do cross trainer because I can keep it up longer. It's less intensive, but still it is intensive, and keeps you more at that area of fat loss. Like if you run and train your condition to run a marathon, then it's a different story, I guess. And also to keep it up, because you, for the long period, trying to keep it up, you know. But I probably from time to time should go running more on the treadmill to just still train it. But yeah, sometimes I just don't want to, eh? But you know, better do something than nothing, right? Yeah, it's better to go to the gym than not to go to the gym, I guess. Or you just walk, 30 minutes walk. Like it's not hard. It's just more like just doing it, you know. Action. The action man, the greatest hero of them all. Yeah, you know. But yeah, what's your goals? Cheers. Well, that's a fit goal. Also, we have art goals. There's so many things still to draw. But yeah, cannot do everything at once. Next to there's just so much stuff, you know. If you have just one thing and one thing only, and you can focus on that, that would be better, I guess. Let's say you're a professional mangaka with a serialization, and you just not you just, but the main focus is weekly producing pages, manga pages, and you don't have to fix the printer, the editor, and all the others, distribution, the commercials, the promotion, everything. You don't have to sell. You just make the damn thing, and that's it. And not that's it. That's easy. It's like really hard. Even like imagine if Eiichiro Oda or other creators, manga creators, Masashi Kishimoto or anyone else that's now still making stuff, they also have to do all the other shit. Yeah. Like you cannot do everything alone, eh? Or maybe you can. No, probably not. But yeah. Yeah, that's a thing for me as well. Time management. That's definitely like there's so many things, you know, and then focusing on what's more important. Time management is definitely a thing to improve. I already off screen tried to improve it, still am, and you know, like what do you want? The goals, what's more important, and yeah. And I'm not the only one with time management issues. I heard other artists and creators also with that. It's definitely, you know, something to work on. So yeah, maybe yeah, also in other areas. Do you have any troubles with time management? Or how do you deal with it? Yeah, I have a list. I have a smaller list and a longer list, and visuals of goals to reach. Personal goals, creative money goals, because you have to, if you want to make a living of art, you need to have some sort of, you know, direction, you know. If you don't have a compass and you're just drifting on the ocean, not knowing where to go, and yeah, then it's just, I guess the clearer and the visually clearer, the better to reach those goals. Maybe depends per person, but yeah, also I need to have a list and write things down than to just keep it in your head, because some people maybe keep things in their head and yeah, it's in my head, but then it's not physical, not it's a bit vague maybe. So the clearer the better, I guess, to reach goals. And then, you know, let's say you have a big goal, and break it apart into smaller goals to reach the big goal. And then and maybe ditch some goals that are less important, or put them on the waiting list, and you have the priority list, like the Eisenhower matrix, like what's needs to be done first, or what's necessary. Like, let's say yeah, you also have personal goals, like let's say your teeth is falling out. Well, it's probably handy then to go to the dentist first, because yeah, your teeth are falling out, or one of them, or whatever. Yeah, you know. Yeah, distractions. I get distracted by by social media, and distract myself, and yeah, no, for me it's easy to get distracted. So that's why, yeah, if you like, let's say you work creatively and you don't want to be disrupted with your creative mode, when you're in the zone, maybe then put your phone on airplane mode, so that no one can message you in that period of time, you know, so you can focus on the goals, and you know, yeah. But yeah, time management is also one of those things I have to work more on. Next to that, a year goal is read more books. I ordered some books, I already had some books just laying around that I still have to read. I do prefer audiobooks, but also books are good to practice reading. I'm not much of a reader, at least. I prefer to listen to podcasts or something, and then also doing other stuff, but it's also good to read. And also reading, you have different types of reading, right? Like, to improve certain skills, like more practical skills, like maybe drawing skills, storytelling skills, or whatever. For example, I ordered the book secondhand because it was cheaper, but like the story from the book Story from Robert McKee, and it's about well, stories. I think mostly focused also on movies, but it accounts for any story, because making manga is like telling a story. It is telling a story. That's the most important, right? You try to communicate a story through visuals and text with characters that do shit. So the characters do shit in certain situations, and they have to make choices and everything. Go from A to B, you have a problem, and the solving, and the problem solved, right? To keep, you know. But the book Story, for example, is one of those books to, well, improve your story skills. And that's a book I ordered and I have to read and learn from it. But yeah, one of that's one book, for example, that I have to read, and then hopefully then if you understand the book, and then you can improve your prove that reading to your manga skills, storytelling skills. But that is a practical book, so to speak, and that is to train your artist skills, or at least I try to get books to also improve your artist, or maybe sell a sales book. I ordered a sales book to sell better and all that. Or, you know, as an artist you also have to become a business artist to sell your stuff and get it out there and stuff. But there are different books, of course. But these are like practical books, if there are the right books. But then you also have like fantasy books. Like I also ordered a fantasy book, and that's more like a fantasy story that you read. And like a teacher once told me, they also used to call him Satan back in the days. That was his nickname. But yeah, I think it was him that said like, okay, if you draw, you also have to read books and books that sparkle your imagination. Not sure if that were the exact words, but I ordered like a fantasy book with what's it called again? About assassins, and it's a fantasy reading book, and then when reading it, you should trigger your imagination, visualize in your mind, and that's a book to train your imagination skills, and then those skills can be applied to your drawings. And also, I guess it's better to get a book that you're interested in. And yeah, a mate some time ago told me this is a really good book, and it's about assassins and all that, so seems interesting. Not sure if I enjoyed it. No, I've not read it yet. But yeah, that's one of those books that I am planning to read, hopefully finish this year. Maybe even make a drawing out of it, because then you read, you imagine shit. Because I've not seen a show or a TV show about it, and I think that's better, so then you can imagine it yourself. But yeah, that's another book skill you can train. Then you can train your imagination, and then those skills you can apply to your drawings, because then you build your imagination skills by reading, and then you can apply that to your drawings. So yeah, that's one of those goals of this year. And if I don't complete reading a lot of books this year, yeah, actually it was always a goal to still read more, but yeah, I just slacking off a bit with that. But maybe instead of going on the phone on the toilet, read a book, or read a few pages of a book and then slowly complete the book. Yeah, so that's one of those goals, for example. And yeah, it's also intended to improve your drawing skills and storytelling skills and all that, and hopefully then also you actually enjoy the book you're reading, and then apply those skills to your in my case, well, drawing skills, manga storytelling. Only 5 faces. Yo Giant, welcome back to the show, NINJABOX ishhh, and what did you eat today? Yo Dion, welcome back to the show, NINJABOX ishhh, and what did you eat today? But they say you can even shut down the phone for the rest of the day. Yeah, the Giant always does it. I guess that's good. Uninstall apps like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, you can uninstall it, but I need them for my social media posting, like art. But maybe you won't understand this from my perspective, and I understand you don't like those, I guess. But I do need social media for sharing the artworks. Do you have a Goodreads account? Oh, actually, I don't think I have. So yeah, these are. Alright, so these were the drawing suggestion by Rox, drawing facial expressions. We may be talking a bit too much about it, about other stuff here as well while drawing, but yeah, we drew here 5 facial expressions. Maybe a bit too slow, but at least, yeah, we got some across. Here's face number 1, face number 2, well, head technically, number 3. number 4, and number 5. So here we got 5 phases.
Nice.
Yeah, the first 1 hour drawing practice challenge, 1 hour manga drawing practice challenge of this year, 2025. Finished here, suggested by Rox. Thank you very much, Rox, for the suggestion. And Ninjas, if you have any other suggestions for human body parts, just let me know also in the comments as well. Yes. Alright, Ninjas, this was the 1 hour drawing manga practice challenge once again to become a super mangaka. And yeah, Rox, thank you very much for the suggestion. If you need to have any other suggestions, just let me know of the human body parts. It can be parts that we already drew before or new body parts. It has to be safe for work, meaning I have to be able to share it with you ninjas on the socials and YouTube. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. And yeah, just let me know any new body parts. Yes. Alright, ninjas, thank you for watching once again. NINJABOX ishhh, and see you ninjas the next time. Ninjakees out.
Ninjakees.
Thanks for joining once again, Ninjas, NINJABOX ishhh, and see you ninjas the next time. Ninjakees out.